Hey guys, I'm actually recording this after the fact of recording the rest of the video that you're about to watch because I realized that I forgot to say how awesome all of you guys have been since I've been on YouTube. I mean, I've only put up one video, this will be my second one. So I just wanted to thank you guys for being really cool and I mean, awesome comments, good conversations and stuff in the comments. I mean, I've got, I think, almost 500 views on like the very first video that I made already, which is pretty fucking awesome, to be honest. Way more than I really thought that I would get, at least that fast. And seeing all the different countries and stuff that, I mean, you dudes are watching me from, it's just really cool, man. So I think I'm definitely going to keep making videos, and obviously I'm making one now. So this one is kind of long. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but I think it's some pretty important stuff that could possibly help you guys and save you from jacking or getting your hair jacked up by a stylist or a barber or whatever, and help you find one. So I guess enjoy the video, and that's pretty much it. Hey, what's up guys? I just wanted to make a quick video because today I'm going to get a little trim. I've noticed that I've found like a couple of split ends over the last few days, so I just kind of want to head that off while I can, I guess, just get ahead of it. I mean, they're just really tiny, but if you let that stuff go, it can really jack your hair up. From what I understand anyways, it's never really happened to me. But so basically I want to make this video because I know that some people, when they go to get trims or get their length evened out, or I mean really anything, when you're trying to grow out your hair, and I mean eventually you're gonna have to go see a stylist or a barber, and you know they can really screw up your hair if you don't communicate well with them, and if you don't pick a good barber or stylist. So I kind of want to talk about finding a stylist or barber, and like finding a shop, I guess, to begin with, and then picking a barber or stylist, and then also how I communicate with them to make sure that I'm safe when I know that I'm gonna look the way that I want to when I leave, or at least as close to it as possible. So to begin with, I guess we'll start with finding a shop, or a barber shop, or a stylist salon, whatever you want to call it. The way that I did it, when I started growing my hair, I actually had just moved to a new city because I was starting medical school, which I'm still currently in. So I had to find a new person to cut my hair that I would trust to do a pretty good job. And when your hair is shorter, I mean, I've gotten, I think I said in my last video too, like maybe 4 or 5, maybe 5 trims since I started growing my hair 2 years ago or so. And I haven't gotten one since August of last summer, but I'm actually going to get one today. So what I had to do is I had to find a shop first, and I started with it's like a Sport Clips. I mean, it's kind of like one of those generic chain places. It's more tailored towards men, and this was when my hair, I mean, was like this long or whatever. So I went there once just to kind of get my mullet tamed up, and I mean, you can't really screw that up, I guess, especially when your hair's that short. There's not really a whole lot they can do to screw you up. You've only really been growing your hair for maybe 2 or 3 months at that point. So that one, it was fine, but I didn't really trust them to cut my hair once it got longer, so I wanted to find a more reputable place to go, or a more reputable stylist or whatever. So I kind of think about it the same way I think about finding a tattoo artist. I have a half sleeve currently, so I've spent a lot of time finding artists and shops, and making sure that that's who I want to put something on my body that's going to be there forever. Now, I understand hair isn't, as permanent as something going on your arm or whatever, but if you've been growing your hair out for 2 years or about 2 years like I have, and then you go somewhere and get your hair cut and they just botch it totally, then, I mean, that's pretty permanent. It's going to take a long time if they screwed up bad enough for you to, fix that by just growing it more. And it's really going to slow you down, and it can really screw with your motivation as far as, you know, still growing your hair out. Like I said, I like to think about finding a stylist or a barber the same way as I think about finding a tattoo artist. So if you're going to get a tattoo, and let's just say, I mean, my sleeve is all like traditional American style tattoos and kind of like modern-ish classic American tattoos, because that's what I like. So if I want to get those kind of tattoos, I'm not going to go to, somebody that mainly does black and white, like realism, because it most likely, isn't going to be up to par with somebody that every day, day in, day out is jamming out traditional tattoos, like the style that I want. So if you think about, like, if you frame a stylist in the same way, the way I like to think about it anyways, is I don't want, or I'd feel more comfortable with somebody cutting my hair that cuts long hair every day. It's most likely every day, but that's the main thing that they do, is cut long hair. So, for me anyways, a barber wasn't necessarily the best option, because, they mainly cut male hair. So, in general, males have relatively shorter hair than I have, and most likely, I mean, whether or not, I'm sure they learned it, probably have to learn it when they get certified or whatever they have to do, they have to learn how to cut long hair. But even if they learned it at some point and they only cut short cuts every day, they're going to be kind of rusty when it comes to cutting hair like mine. So even though the town that I'm in now has this sweet, like old school, all wood, and like they do straight shaves, and it's just like a badass old school barber that I really wanted to go to, and I actually made an appointment to go there. I mean, this was like October 2013 probably, because the first time I got a cut, like when my hair was actually longer, was for one of my buddy's weddings. So I had to get it cleaned up. So I went and I made an appointment at that place, and I canceled it because I just talked myself out of it. Like, even though this place is really cool and, I like the idea of an old school barber, probably not, my best option as far as, bettering my chances of getting the best long haircut that is possible. So I started researching just online, looking for salons, because, salons are mainly for women, so they have more experience with long hair, not necessarily, guys' long hair, but it's not that far of a stretch just to cut guys' long hair versus a woman's long hair. They just, it's less fancy, I guess. But, so I found this place across the river, and I can't remember the name of it. It's not like it matters anyway, but I read the reviews, and there's, a handful of reviews. Salons and stuff don't necessarily have a lot of them, at least around here. So everybody was really happy with it. Everybody was just satisfied, and they said the lady was awesome, and she actually cut a lot of men's hair, and she was a stylist and actually like a certified barber, or whatever their certification's called. So I was like, this is the best of both worlds. Why wouldn't I go there? So I went over there, and she was a very nice lady. It was kind of a little crotchety shop, which, whatever, like the coolest bars are kind of the crappiest ones. So I let her cut my hair, and my hair at that point was, maybe around here or so, like in the front. So I let her cut it, and she did the majority of it perfect. She did a great job. And she like asked me if I wanted her to really trim up like this area, and like she wanted to trim up higher on my neckline, because she said that's what men's long haircuts generally entail. So me being inexperienced with getting haircuts with long hair, I was like, yeah, I mean, whatever you think is best is probably what I should do. So, and I made sure that she wasn't going to be lopping off like 3 inches off my hair or anything. And she kind of botched me up a little bit, and I'm still kind of paying for it. You can see like this area right here, like that is still growing back from what that lady did. And a lot of this stuff is like in the top of my sideburns, and that's gonna get cleaned up today. That's one of the reasons I'm going. But like these little wispies here, it's kind of up higher, I guess, is from her. And these still don't really make it into my bun or anything, and that was over a year ago. So I didn't really notice it at first because it looked clean, but as I got my hair long enough to where I could pull it back, it started, kind of irritating me, because I still get these little, hairs that were like this long at that point sticking out, and I would always have to be pushing stuff behind my ears even when my hair was tied back. And now it's really annoying me. It's gotten a lot better in the last few months, and I mean, nobody's really going to notice it aside from me. You can see it in the back when I pull my hair up. I'll show you guys in my next video, because this isn't my actual hair update. I just want to talk about this for a little bit. But way up on my hairline, she cut like an inch up, like shaved it with a straight razor. And that's still growing back too, and that's closer to my bun, so it's like just about there, and some days, depending on where I get it, it'll be in there. But it just kind of set me back, and that was just like a really small area, so I can't even imagine having, I can't remember whose video I was watching, but somebody, and they were pretty mad about it, and I would be too. They got, way too much cut off, and, the lady was just going to town, basically, and yeah, I just don't know what I would do if that happened to me, because just this little bit pissed me off. So after that, obviously, I didn't go back to that lady. It's nothing against her. She asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, yeah, do whatever you want to do, which isn't always a bad decision, I guess. But I think when it comes to my hair, from then on, I decided I wouldn't really ever say that to a stylist again. So then I went sort of in a different direction. Instead of trying to find like the diamond in the rough little shop like I thought that lady's place was, I just looked for like where do the rich ladies go get their hair cut in the city. So I found this place, and it's really cool, actually. It's really nice. I mean, it's kind of girly. It's a salon, but they have free beer, which is pretty awesome. They have wine for the women, or I mean, they can drink beer too if they want to. So every time I go in there, I get a free beer too when I'm there, and that's pretty awesome. Can't argue with that. And they actually just set me up with a stylist when I made my appointment, because I'd never been there before, and they didn't really have like profiles or anything on their website for me to like decide who I wanted. So they set me up with this girl to cut my hair, and she did a great job. She's cut my hair twice, I think, since then, and she's done a lot of the layering, or all of the layering in the back of my hair that I was kind of talking about in my last video. And that's mainly what I get, I guess. I don't necessarily get trims. I haven't really cut anything off of the front part of my head, like pretty much from like here forward hasn't really been cut, just so that it catches up. And instead of getting it trimmed straight, I like kind of how it's all uneven and stuff because of the layers. I lose length through layering the back of my head, and that takes a lot of the weight and stuff out, so it doesn't lay like super flat. I'll actually get a little bit of like volume, my hair's wet because I just took a shower, so that my hair would be relatively clean before I got my hair cut. So the layers is pretty sweet. But anyways, so this stylist is great, and that's who I'm going back to today, and I'll probably keep going there. I mean, it's probably maybe going to be once a year from now on. I mean, it's been since August since I've been there before, but I'll keep going back there. So it's kind of a process to find one, but there's a bunch of different ways to do it, and I would highly suggest to read the reviews. And when I say that, I mean really, really read them. Like, look at the picture of the guy or girl who's posting the review and see what they look like, because in that, what I actually wanted to say this earlier, the lady that kind of botched my hair up on the sides and back, those reviews that I read, they were all great, like I said, but if I would have been really paying attention, every picture that was associated with the review was like an older dude and, or some young guys too, but mainly older dudes with pretty short hair, and you know, that should have been sort of a sign like maybe I shouldn't go here for a long haircut. So really, really read the reviews of the place before you go there. And then, I mean, look for, if you've got the cash to spend, I mean, it's only like $20 or something to get my hair cut from like this fancy place in town. So, I mean, it's not that bad, and it's not like you're getting a haircut every day. So look for the nicest shop in town. Or another way you can do it is you see another guy walking around with long hair at the bars or wherever at school. Just ask him where he got his haircut. I mean, look at how cool all of us are with each other, talking about our hair and whatever. I mean, I'm sure most guys with long hair are willing to talk about it, and from my experience in real life and not on the internet, that's pretty well the case most of the time. So just ask some dudes with long hair, if you see them out and around, where they get their hair cut, who they trust to do it, because that's most likely a good place to start. So I guess that would be my tips on how to find a stylist. Now, finding one is only really half the battle as far as I'm concerned, because you really need to know how to communicate what you want with them, because they don't know what you want to do. They don't know what you're trying to do. They don't know what you like, what you don't like, and the areas that annoy you or whatever. So I would suggest being very, very clear. And this is still along the lines of a tattoo artist. You know, don't be afraid to offend them. It's their job to cut your hair or do a tattoo and make you happy and do what you want. Because if they don't, then you're most likely not coming back or telling other people about their shop. So don't be afraid to offend them. They're not going to be offended if you say, you know, I don't want this, I do want that, I didn't really like that you did this last time, maybe we could do something different. I mean, they know way more about hair than we do, so you know, it's always good to just ask them questions and bounce ideas off of them before you ever even let them pick up the scissors or shears or whatever. So be very, very clear. To begin with, just tell them your goal, tell them what you're trying to do. I'm trying to grow out my hair. So, you know, it's probably not something I want to do to be cutting much, if anything, for the first while off of the front of my hair, so that it eventually catches up with the back. Like today, when I go there, this is exactly what I'm going to say. Even though I've been there before twice and to the same girl, like, I'm still growing out my hair, obviously. So I would like to avoid, if at all possible, cutting anything off the front of my hair, because it's still not quite even with the back. I want the minimum amount that we can possibly take off of everything, just to get rid of those few split ends that I have. And then I would like some layering, more layering in the back like we did last time. And, you know, that is pretty specific. And also I'll say, I'm growing out my beard, obviously, so my sideburns are kind of unruly right now, and I've purposely been not really trimming them because I'm kind of scared to do it. I don't want to screw them up. So I'm going to let her kind of fade them into my hair and then work on, you know, these little frizzies and stuff and establish my actual hairline again. Since I've been growing my beard, I haven't really been messing with that stuff. So, you know, that kind of stuff you can leave up to their discretion. They know what they're doing, but, you know, be as specific as you possibly can so that you can almost guarantee that you're going to get what you want. So let me see, I got my list here. Let me see if there's anything else. I know this is kind of a long video, but okay. So that's pretty much it for like my tips, I guess, to find a stylist and to be able to communicate with them more effectively, I guess, so that you can almost guarantee that you're going to get what you want and not get screwed up. So I'm glad that I didn't necessarily have to learn a super hard lesson, because, you know, the lady only really screwed up a little bit of my hair, so it's not really that big of a deal, and like I said, only probably I notice it. So basically I'm gonna go get my hair cut in about an hour, and then I'll come back and I'll record another 5 minutes or so, and we'll just talk about my experience, I guess, and see how it's all going, how it looks and everything, and see if you guys and if I can even tell that much of a difference, but hopefully we can't really. So alright, I'll see you guys in well, you guys, it'll be like a second, but I'm gonna go get my hair cut, and then I'll come back later. Alright, see you guys. Alright, so I'm back and got my hair cut. Everything went pretty well, and I stopped on the way home because it's just been one of those weeks where I've been studying like crazy, and I've got national boards coming up in like 2 more weeks, so that's why I've got these sweet bags under my eyes, because I've literally been doing nothing but studying all day for the last week and a half, and will be for the next 2 weeks. So I picked myself up a little 6-pack on the way home, and I'm going to enjoy some beers before I go take the night off, and I'm going to hang out with some buddies. But anyways, I'm going to take a sip here. That is delicious. Okay, so my haircut, it went awesome, like I expected. The girl I go to now is really good at what she does, that's for sure, and it just went pretty smooth. I mean, I told her exactly what I told you guys I was going to tell her, and I mean, maybe not quite as aggressively as I was explaining it to you guys, but she did a great job. And as you can tell, I mean, just looking here, I didn't have my hair back in the first part of the video. I probably should have done that, but all of the frizzies are gone, and my sideburns are nice and clean now, so that's all good and lined up. I'll turn around a little bit. So there's the back of my hairline there, and the bun. She's got it kind of caked with a little bit of product right now. She just wanted to put product in it when she put it up for me. So I'm going to wash that out here in a little bit, and then I'll come back and we can actually compare it more, I guess just better, to the first part of the video here, because now it's like rock hard, because, well, not rock hard, but there's quite a bit of gel in there, so it's not going to lay, it's just going to stay that way. So I'm probably going to finish this beer or a couple, and then I'm going to take another shower, and I'll make the last few minutes of this video, and we'll wrap it up. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so I'm back for the last part of this video. So now I just took a shower again, and I let my hair dry for a little while, and I had a few more beers, and just kind of hanging out and relaxing, finally, just taking the day off from studying. But here we go, I guess we'll check out my hair. So, I mean, you can tell just as the way it sits right now that I really, you know, it looks pretty much the same. It was just cleaned up. At this point in the length of my hair, this is what I would like it to look like after I get a trim. Just not a whole lot different, just kind of cleaned up. And like I told you guys earlier, just really, I had a couple of split ends. She told me like that she barely really even found any. I had just found like 2 or 3 of them, and I got nervous, I guess. So I just wanted to go get a trim and get those taken care of so that they wouldn't turn into a problem. So yeah, we'll check this out here. so as we expected, still looks pretty well the same. It's still kind of wet, so it's just laying totally flat right now. And I'll give you guys a look at the back. I don't know if I did that earlier or not, but so there's the back, and I did forget in my first video to give you guys the Zach shake, and I didn't want to deprive you guys of that. So here we go. Here comes the Zach shake. So yeah, it turned out good, and I'm really happy with this area for sure. I was just scared to cut my sideburns and trim them myself because I didn't want to screw it up. And then, I mean, it's just your side or my sideburns, so they don't really get that long. So I wouldn't have shaved my beard off or anything, but nobody really likes to look like garbage. So I just had her do it, and it turned out pretty well. Pretty happy with it, and so I hope that my tips and everything helped you get, or will help you guys in the future to find and to communicate with your stylist or your barber, whoever you choose to go to, so that you can end up happy at the end of a haircut like I am right now, instead of super pissed off because like I said earlier, I don't know what I would do if I got, I mean, I'd probably stop a lady in the middle of it if she started just lopping a bunch of hair off, but I would be super pissed, and it would really suck to lose that much length, as I've seen. I still can't remember whose video that was. I should have looked that up while I was sitting here, but yeah, so that's pretty much it as far as like how to get a trim and how to find yourself a good stylist. I did want to make one more point. I know this video is long, but this is a good point. Anthony at, I don't know if it's Crossing Cat or Xing Cat. I'll link his YouTube channel and actually the video that I'm talking about in the description of this video. So you guys can go check that out. But I was actually going to talk about this today in this video because it's relevant to it. But he made a video discussing sort of the anatomy of hair and how what we do to it actually affects it, and what affects it, and what it actually does, and what it makes it look like, and etc. So what I actually want to talk about is that, and he makes this point in his video as well, is that your hair isn't like, it's a part of your body, obviously, but it's not like it's not living, it's not alive. It's made of keratin and proteins and various other things. So really, it's more or less like a natural polymer or a compound, whatever you want to call it. It's like I already told you what it's made of, but it's not alive. There's no blood, there's no feeling, obviously, aside from in your roots. So once your hair grows out of your follicles, it's no longer alive. Like this stuff right here it's dead, which is kind of gross to think about, but it is. So when people tell you that don't get, or you need to get trims, periodically when you're growing your hair out because it's going to make your hair grow faster, or it's going to make it healthier, or it's a lot of people say a bunch of stuff about that you should get trims for sure because it's going to make it grow faster and it's going to be healthier or whatever. And in a way they're right, but I will tell you that in no way will that make your hair actually grow faster. Just in the same way as people say when you shave it makes your hair or your beard thicker or your actual hair more coarse or whatever. It may feel that way because when you shave it, you're actually putting a point on the hair. It's not, blunted like these are from just rubbing on my pillow and me dicking with it like I always do when I'm sitting around. So you should get trims for sure, because like today I got a trim because I found a couple of split ends, and that's the main reason, aside from trying to even up your lengths from the back to the front, that you should get trims. Because it will get rid of those, obviously. It'll get rid of the split ends, and then it'll prevent that split end from continuing up your hair and then making your hair all crappy and broke and whatever. So it will make your hair healthier because you're getting rid of your split ends and whatever. But it will not make it grow faster. So when your hair eventually gets long, it will be all healthy if you get trims and etc. So don't think that if you get a trim your hair is going to grow faster. It's just not, because once it's out there, it's the same thing as like I mean, just like Anthony said in his video, it's just like a shirt. It's not alive. It's not going to respond to anything. Like there's nothing out here that if I do something to it, it's going to signal the follicle in my head to make it grow faster. It's just not going to. It's dead. It's just a tissue. So don't think that. But you should get trims if you see some split ends, or if you want to even up your lengths, or change your style or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Just kind of a point I wanted to make, and it's really funny that Anthony made that video today, because I was literally thinking in the car when I was driving to get my haircut that I wanted to make that point today, because I was just thinking about trims and whatever in general, and I remember when I first started growing out my hair that I thought that's exactly kind of what I thought. And even though I'm in medical school, I had never really considered like the actual the anatomy and the science behind that statement that a trim will make your hair grow faster. And when I started thinking about it, it won't. That's ridiculous. And I don't know. I just want to make that point. This video is already long enough. So go ahead, get your hair trimmed, man. Keep it clean, keep it good, grow it healthy. Just take care of it, man, and it'll look good for sure. Find yourself a good stylist. Hopefully my points helped you. Be very clear with your communication with them as to how you want your haircut, so that you can end up happy at the end of the day, like I am right now. So I guess I'll leave you guys with that. Once again, I'm really excited about how you guys responded to my first video, and even though this video is really long, I hope you guys enjoy this one too. And at the what's the date today? The 6th. So like I'll probably wait till after I take boards on the 20th, and that next week I'll make another video about my actual hair growth and whatever. I'm going to talk about like some headbands and some awkward stage stuff, as I was talking to Zach about it after my last video. So anyways, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I love hearing your guys' feedback and interacting with you guys. It's great. So I'm going to go ahead and end this like almost hour-long video by now, probably. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. Just go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in about 2 weeks after I take some big-ass exams that I'm really scared to take. So have a good one, guys, and keep it growing and take care of that hair.